I like this conversation right here.
Yeah.
I like where this is going. What's going on with the whole drill thing? What do you think about the influence on drill? Like the influence that drill has on like its consumers?
I mean, I think it's both a product of the environment and something that influences it at the same time.
Yeah, if we're talking like, think about the consumer fan base of drill, yeah? We're talking that there's real youths that are listening to this right now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because like you don't really hear 30-year-old man listening to drill, you know what I mean?
Not in
2022
like that.
Yeah, it doesn't really stretch that far. So if we're talking like the prime consumers that I'm seeing are like, what can we say? I don't know.
TikTok, 100%. My sister's 14. Yeah, 14, and she knows.
So we're talking from about the age that you can not start listening to music. You start listening to music from a youth, I guess. But let's say from about 12, 11.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
say
say 11.
Yeah? 11.
11, because youths are going into what? Secondary school.
100%.
Mix and matching with people.
100%.
Yeah.
Year 6, year 7 into secondary school.
Yeah.
And
so
they understand what that is.
I think from once people hit social media.
100%.
As well as TikTok, I see all of these like highlight videos. There'll be football, basketball, and they've got drill.
Drill on the background.
100%.
And obviously you get that effect, but sometimes you watch a highlight and you're like, what's this song in it? So I think that's an easy access point into the drill lifestyle through the music and that.
Yeah.
So I think it's easy to get exposed to nowadays, just being pushed. But,
you know, just touching on that, I think drill is like every other genre that we've seen that has emerged and has become really popular. So we had rock and roll and we had soul music. These were genres that came from struggle and pain, right? And I think that is what drill represents. It is young people putting what they've experienced in the system and saying, yo, I did a madness and this is what happened, right? I think we talk about Digga D a lot on the show. He's one person we know who's struggled with the law and what it is he puts in his music and how he can talk about certain individuals in his music, right? And how much censorship he can get from that music. So I just think that, like you were saying, it gets a lot of bad rep, but it's a form of expression.
Rightly so? Or...
No, I don't think so.
So you think it's wrongful?
I think so, because when you think of rock and roll was considered the devil's music back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Right? I know a lot, like, I've seen interviews of Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, Nina Simone saying that they had to hide the fact that they were singing these very provocative songs, right? Songs about sex and drugs and being in love and gyrating on men because their parents thought that it was just unearthly, ungodly, right? But these were genres that came out of struggle. And I think that's the same sort of rap that drill is getting. It's like not promoting, but to the older generation, it comes across as promoting, but we are just recording our experiences. So I don't think it gets a bad rep, and that's rightfully so.
I feel like it's putting more people in the hood than it is taking out of the hood.
We could say the same thing about coke rap. We could say the same thing about
putting people in the hood.
Yeah, we could say the same thing about the sort of, American rap, whatever Jay-Z was talking about back in the 90s.
People are dying though.
100%.
It's like, it's like different when you're saying, yo, I'm slanging dope or whatever they might say, yeah. But when we're talking like Chef My Man Den, and then you've got really good kids who have grown up nice now listening to this and feeling like they can then go and do that stuff, yeah. You're actually putting people into that lifestyle via music. Music's like, it's highly influential, yeah?
100%.
Highly influential. And I get all genres influence.
Of course.
But it's now the extent of the influence, innit? If we're talking now, like, we're talking about people's lives now. We're not talking about just sex. We're not talking about selling drugs. Like, I get the severity of that. but now we're talking about people's lives being lost.
Right.
We're talking about bringing youths that have no need to be involved in the roads to then come to the roads through music. Because they heard XYZ say XYZ, and more time it might even be that they're lying about it too. In the music,
100%.
So now but still, now it's a hit single. Now millions of people have consumed that. Now millions of people think that's true because it's come from an influential person, an influential character. But one, it might not even be true. No one else knows that. But two, they've just put thousands of people in that sort of mind frame to then follow that path.
Right.
You feel me? Like, people listen to certain music when they're doing certain things. You might listen to something about selling drugs when you're selling drugs. Like, you might listen to drill before you go and do whatever you're going to do. That's a bit mad.
I mean, you know, let's not talk about how long you and I have known each other. We've known each other a long time.
Very long time.
And I would like to say that you fairly know me to be a fairly good girl. Right? That's not funny. Don't do that. But I, being a fan of drill, I'm not going out doing all those things. And I'm not saying that everyone else is just like me, but it is completely possible for an artist to have a fan base, and not everyone. I totally understand. Like, I understand that people like Nines have lived their life, right? And they continue to talk about their lives in their music. And I understand that could influence people. But being a music consumer and being a fan of music, I could listen to that and actually learn from it.